Welcome to Inner Compass. On today's episode, we are going to talk about the amniotic fluid as well as swollen feet. There's so many things that happens in the life of a woman, whether it being through the time of her teenage years or through the time of bearing children or through the menopause stage. However, that being said, we're going to dabble into a very interesting topic today, something that I get questioned about very often. Over the years, my experience as a nurse and as a midwife, I have seen series of events where people do not even know how to navigate through this whole situation. And some people actually come to the thought that maybe they have kidney issues. However, let's dig into this and find out what and how we can handle this situation during pregnancy. All right, my name is Alleviate and I'm your host on today's program. This video is actually just for educational purposes, so I expect you to please make sure you consult your physician before you take any further moves. So let's dig right in. In the journey of pregnancy, every day brings something new. It could be most likely unexpected. I like to say it like pregnancy feels most of the times like a 9-month journey where you ask yourself what is happening to my body. I'm not going to use the word so that my videos are not removed from YouTube. This whole changes in the 9 months starts from the moment that you found out that you are expectant. That is a whole wind of change, the wind you can't even tell where it's blowing from. A mother once told me that one minute she's looking at her beautiful bump and the other minute she's looking at her feet and asking, where did you just come from? I never had the swollen feet. Swollen foot can really be a very surprising and exciting thing at the same time. And don't even let me start on the whole amniotic fluid situation. We're going to get into that as well. It can be clear, it can be yellow, it could be green. I feel like it's like a mystery that nobody actually prepares for. Like, I would say kudos and lots of respect to you mothers to be like the sheer load of information and the things that your body is going through is really overwhelming, and I like respect from the bottom of my heart to you. So like I said initially, we are diving really deep into two major pregnancy mysteries. From swollen feet to amniotic fluid colors. Now these are very common concerns for women, especially in the final stage, the third phase of pregnancy. Trust me sis, if you have a better understanding on how to navigate through this, it makes the last trimester really less stressful, as many people would have told you it was for them. You know the saying, knowledge is power? Yes, that's exactly what it is. So just grab your bottle and sit with your feet up, that we want to avoid it from getting swollen, and let's go. All right ladies, now picture this. You're watching your favorite movie and you're sitting there enjoying it, and suddenly you notice that your feet feels like it belongs to someone else. This is not about you. This is a very common issue. We have all, every woman who's a mother have been there. Sitting or standing in a long time in a certain position can actually lead to some pressure in those tissues. Your feet and your ankle can be swollen, and this will make you really feel uncomfortable. Now think about it this way. Gravity at this time might not really be your best friend as it should be, especially because you're carrying a mini human. It's a lot of work to do, you know. The extra weight of the baby puts pressure on the veins or the arteries, and this makes it difficult for blood to circulate as it should. If you are glued to the couch and you're watching a movie, make sure you're taking time to elevate the feet. So you want to put maybe an ottoman in front of you or take a break and walk around a little more than sitting. The truth is, whether you're walking around in the house or your feet are elevated, this can actually enhance the flow in your veins, and therefore making you feel a whole lot of relief than when you are in the sitting position all day long. You want to put your feet on a pillow, you want to walk around and take a snack and give your ankles that very beautiful rest that it deserves. This is actually a very small change, but will make a whole lot of difference on your whole journey. I do understand if you have a job that you would have to stand all day, but here is where it gets really interesting. just taking very little snap of standing up, walking around, or just taking a stretch of your hand above your head and moving a bit can make a whole lot of difference. This doesn't have to do with you just being at home watching a movie. It also has to do with when you're standing for a longer period. Okay, maybe this is too much for you, but when you have at the back of your mind that taking care of yourself is taking care of the little one as well, that would empower you a little bit more. Okay, my second tip for you today is that you stay hydrated. I understand you'll be saying, Lavetti, but why do I have to drink lots of water when I'm already peeing every 10-20 minutes? But sis, trust me on this one. Staying hydrated during pregnancy is really like an elixir to many women who are pregnant, if not all. Because when you're dehydrated, your body starts holding water as if it's going out of the drill, you know? And for us pregnant women, this happens especially in the feet and in the ankle area. Okay, sis, therefore, you want to channel your inner camel and take at least 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. Now, hold up. When I say liquid, I don't mean just H2O. I also mean things like fruits, veggies, and any other place that you can extract liquid from. Don't forget, these nutrients are very beneficial for you and your baby. And when I say 8 to 10 glasses, I mean like really big gulps. I don't mean some little sips. You know what I mean? If, however, you think, hey, I don't want to take too much of plain water and I don't want to take just, H3O2, then maybe you could spice up your water with something like agave or something like lemon. Believe me, your body will say thank you for that, and your skin, oh my word, it will be glowing. So stay hydrated. The third step I want to give you today is move your body. Oh, I don't mean you should go for some sort of marathon. I'm talking about the gentle pregnancy movement at your pregnancy pace, your own pace. A pace where you can actually get your blood pumping well enough and flush out everything that is excess fluid in the body. So how do you do this? Just some leisure 10-20 minutes walk, or you want to do some extra yoga classes, a little bit of light stretching. I don't mean overstress though. Now the beautiful thing about this is that it's not just amazing for the swelling of the feet, it is also very, very beautiful for your mental health. It works wonders. And also, let's really keep it real, that pregnancy hormones, takes us to this whole wild drive. And anything, I think, in my opinion, that will keep those hormones, those joyful hormones in place is a win in my checkbook. Just remember that you have to do it in accordance to your need. So don't overdo it. There is no judgment. You're not running a marathon, are we? My fourth tip would be your shoes, your footwear in general. I understand that you love heels and they look really amazing if you're someone who've always worn heels. However, that being said, I'm not sure if heels are the most comfortable things or helpful things for you at the situation. Ideally, I tell people to get shoes which are breathable, shoes with a flat and very comfortable and very amazing materials. I like to use cotton, like strong cotton, or you want to use bamboo wools as well. In case though that you're feeling really, really stressful when it comes to the flowing, your compression socks are your best friend. Wait, I know that they not look very, very beautiful as you want them to be, but believe me, they work wonders. I've seen it happen so many times, including my life. They don't only help you with the blood circulation, and they also prevent fluid from pooling into your ankles and your feet. And not to forget that they come in amazing colors and fancy ways these days. So you can still look really, really good while you wear those very comfy socks. Okay, sisters, let's keep it really real here. Is there anything more amazing and relaxing than a beautiful foot massage after a very long day? I think not. Now, especially when you're pregnant, it is not just a luxury, it is a necessity. Soaking your feet in cool water for 15 to 20 minutes can work wonders. And this is not just for the swelling, but also from any sort of discomfort around the feet and ankle area. I like to inform the women to add some Epsom salt in this warm water to promote that sort of relaxation feeling. Here's where it gets better. If you can actually convince your partner to help you give you those beautiful massage, it even gets better. Every little pampering that you can get at this time goes a very long way. I hear women who tell me that during their pregnancy, they felt all alone and they did everything alone. Hey mama, if you need help, ask for it. This is not time to be a super mama. Okay mama, let's talk about your diet. I am not about to tell you to stop all your favorite food just because you're pregnant. But you know what? There are some things you want to really stay away from or reduce it, especially because of the swollen ankle and the feet. First off, you want to watch your salt intake. I know, salt makes everything taste better, but it also makes you retain water like nobody's business. So you want to try to cut down on the processed food, salty snacks, and every other takeout. On the flip side, you want to load on potassium-rich food like bananas. I also like to tell women to take lots of avocado, sweet potato, but not too much of that. Okay. I have over the time heard so many things about water breaking and the color of the fluid. Now we're going to dabble into the second part of this video where I'm going to really explain to you the different colors of liquid when the water is broken. Why? Because potassium will help you to balance your electrolytes and flush out every excess fluid that's in the body. So, to the left is actually a win-win. Okay, this is where mamas find it a bit hard in the final stage of pregnancy. I would like to really tell you to prioritize your rests and your sleep. I know there's a lot of things you want to do out there. You're preparing for the baby, you're trying to clean the house, or you're doing nesting at this time. However, prioritizing rest is actually very crucial for the swollen ankles and feet. I mean, think about it this way. When you're lying down, gravity is not working against you. It means, therefore, that there's less buildup of fluid in your extremities. So, you want to put those feet up, you want to get an extra pillow if you can, and put those feet a bit elevated. And believe me, your body will thank you for that. I really hope that I have been able to make you understand ways by which you can manage swollen ankle and feet during pregnancy. Now let's go to the second part of this video where we'll be talking about the amniotic fluid, its colors, and what it implies. The reason why this is very important is because over the years I've heard so many different definitions as to certain colors and how dangerous they can be. Now, is this true, or is this just fear-mongering in the birthing field? When the water gets broken or when that gush comes out, it can be clear or yellowish or greenish depending on the situation. However, that being said, it is important for you to understand that there's a difference from a leaking and a gush. Let me explain that a bit. Leaking of the amniotic fluid can go on for a certain period of time. It can even take up to 24 or 48 hours. The reason why this happens that way, I think, from my experience, is because the amniotic sac can actually seal back. Yes, it is not a wonder. It is anatomy, pathophysiology, or pathology. It is not a wonder. It is just the human physiology. It happens that there's a leakage and maybe after a certain period of time, it seals back. That is, however, not always the case. Now let's talk about it breaking. If it breaks, you would know without being told that it is broken. A very typical example I like to use when women say, I think my water is broken, and they still don't see this, is imagine this. Imagine a balloon filled with water, right? And this balloon is just, you drop it on the floor, and what happens? It splashes. That is how water breaks. It doesn't come in drops. Sometimes, like I said, it comes in drops. That happens when the sac is broken from behind and not from underneath. In that case, we often want to hope that it heals back, especially when the mother is not yet to term. If that happens to you, please do not wait to go and see your care provider or go to the hospital. Okay, when this water breaks, in most cases is clear, it can also be yellow. So when your water breaks, the first thing you want to do, especially if you're at home when it breaks, you want to check the color. And so sometimes it's hard to tell, especially if it's on the floor. So you need a clear napkin, maybe a plain color white napkin to be able to identify this. Is this a time you should be running to the hospital? It depends. So in a situation where you have been having contractions regularly, then I would advise you that it's time to go to the hospital, or you want to call your care provider. That being said, if you're giving birth at home, you want to call on your midwife almost immediately, especially if you have been going through the contractions consistently for the last, let's say, 5 to 7 hours. The same applies for a woman who wants to give birth in the hospital. I can't tell you when to go to the hospital, but I like to really advise my women that when the contractions are 5 minutes apart, just move to the hospital, whether with a broken amniotic fluid or not. If you happen to have a green or, between green and yellow amniotic fluid, it is not a time to panic. I've heard so many times that people say it means the baby is stressed. There are many factors that could be surrounding this. It could be because of some mechanical movement in there. It could also be because there's meconium. Now, meconium is not a bad thing, is it? It actually means that the baby is already able to excrete some substances on its own. It's also very possible it could be due to the fact that the baby has stayed more than term. So in any of these cases, it is not a thing to panic, please. I hear this so often and I really don't think it's a thing to panic. It might really, in most cases, be just a stain from meconium. This one basically means that your baby has been able to pass their first poop inside. And this can actually happen when the baby is overdue, or there is some sort of, very strong mechanical movement inside of the uterus, in the baby's wall. Now, this does not always mean fear and panic as it is said, or as it is going around. I strongly believe that there's a lot of fear mongering when it comes to the green amniotic fluid. So, mama, I want you to take a deep breath and trust that you have got this, and of course you have set the best medical team to assist you. If you're birthing at home, study enough to have a better understanding of these things to reduce all the panic that might come, especially you don't want the baby to be stressed, do you? All of that being said, if you notice that the fluid is yellow or slightly golden, then it is time to call your doctor. Is it danger? Not all the time, but it's a time to really know that, hey, probably something isn't at stake or something isn't going on as it should. From most of my experience, this can actually be a sign of RH incompatibility. And to break that down, it's a situation where your immune system is reacting to the baby's blood type. You're two people. So personally, what I advise women to do is right at the beginning of the pregnancy, I try to check all of the blood types and everything, do all the blood work to avoid such things to happen. And even if they happen, we know how to handle them. Many a times, these things are really, really taken care of because there are medications that can prepare your body before birth. Reasons being because there are medications that you can use to regulate your body before the coming of your little baby. I want you to stay calm. If you've watched the video to this stage, I'm not trying to get you panic. I'm just trying to make you understand that these are things that are possible, and there are also ways by which you can handle them. If you are overdue and your water is greenish yellow, it could be a sign that your little one is overdue. From my experience, many a times the ultrasound is not often correct with women who have this kind of experiences. So it's often 7 days, 6 days, 1 week, 10 days to later than it should be. So it's actually nothing other than a sign of maturity of the baby. So what I advise women to do is, if they're birthing at home, is to do a constant check with their midwife. Otherwise, if they want to, it's best when they go to the hospital and do the check as much as possible. Depending on where you are in the Western world, in Europe, at least where I am in Austria, they will most likely say you should come to the hospital every second or third day. And that's quite okay to make sure that you and the baby are doing fine. If you happen to see dark red or very brown amniotic fluid, that is a time where you are obliged to call your doctor. You are obliged to see your caregiver. I don't even want you to be at home at this time. Even if you're birthing at home, you need to be in the hospital. This is one of those times where I tell women, hey, I can't do this for you. You got to go to the hospital. Reasons being because they have machines and things that they would see what I don't see. In most cases, this is a sign of concealed bleeding, and it often requires medical attention. I really hope you've enjoyed this video today. Remember that pregnancy can be full of surprises, but when you understand the swollen feet and amniotic fluid colors, you'll be able to prepare your mind mentally as you are approaching labor. This is a journey that's filled with many changes. The journey can be so challenging, both physical and emotional, and knowing what to expect makes a whole lot of difference. If your feet are swollen, try to elevate them, stay hydrated, and move regularly. Simple steps as these can reduce discomfort as well as promote circulation in your system. And I'm very sure that you would agree with me that this will make your pregnancy journey more comfortable. Also, if your water breaks, make sure to check the color of your water and the flow before you decide what to do next. This can provide clues about your baby's well-being, and it also helps you make informed decisions. Green fluid doesn't always mean trouble. However, in doubt, call your healthcare provider for reassurance. Many a times they would offer you a guidance and peace of mind and ensure that your baby and you are safe. Remember that your body is doing an incredible job preparing for birth. And lady, you are almost there. Every kick, every movement is a sign of the amazing life that's growing inside of you. Therefore, stay calm, stay informed, and of course, trust the process. Also, please take time to relax, educate yourself, and connect with the little one. If this video has resonated with you, share it to a fellow mama-to-be and let this information spread. Thank you very much for joining me on Inner Compass. And my name is Alleviate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care.